million ways to mob. Choose one.
Am I too?
Am I on there?
Are you live? Oh, all the way good. And this is what it is. We Eating presents Free99 podcast. Email us askfree99@gmail.com. Follow us SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and IG. Free99 podcast. Shout out to MO to the NO. Thank you, Mono.
You're the
Yes, best. I love you. Jarissa's in the building.
Hey.
Hey. We got Jake back in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Not a man.
Not a man.
I'm the good homie Gus, customer service.
No Philly Phil, though.
No Philly Phil. Phil's in Boston catching flights and feelings.
Flights to Boston.
Flights and feelings, eating all the chowder.
Nice.
Chowder.
Lucky.
For real. I don't know. I'm kind of curious how that's like, because that's not the West Coast, and
I'm sure it's fire.
it's I meant like being like the race he is.
Oh, he should be all right.
There's a lot of people, a lot of out-of-towners there probably, so it's whatever.
Yeah, nah.
True.
I mean, Boston is it's a pretty popular city nowadays. I mean, that's all it has been, but I'm pretty sure it's diverse enough for him to be cool.
Shout out to, what you say, Marky Mark?
Mark Wahlberg, top 5 dead or alive. Just saying.
Top 5. My introduction to Mark Wahlberg was Feel the Vibration, and it was on the Arsenio Hall show.
See?
Oh, shit.
See, he really flipped it before, like, Fresh Prince and all that, you know what I mean? He was rapping and then he became a movie star, so... He actually...
Model.
Yeah, exactly.
Model, yeah, Calvin Klein model, that's right.
He made the blueprint, man. Ludacris, all of them, they owe it to Marky Mark.
Justin Bieber.
You know what I mean? Every rapper that you've seen in a movie with a movie career owes it to Mark Wahlberg.
Shout out to Mark Wahlberg. I rock with him.
Top 5, dead or alive, man.
You know, there was this documentary I was watching on New Kids on the Block. Don't judge.
I love New Kids.
But I know you do. He talked about when there was auditions for New Kids. He Mark Wahlberg went to Mark Wahlberg went with his brother Donnie Wahlberg for the audition, but he didn't like the practice. He's like, I'm good. I need to go play basketball with my friends, and he ended up blowing up harder.
Yeah, nah, for real.
The vibe was different, I guess.
I don't know.
You know, there was like the white boy version of New Edition. That's really where it came from.
Kind of grimy.
Because they're both from Boston.
New Edition they are from Boston.
Think about it, man. But they was from Southie, the white hood.
Southie. Well, what's the hood Bobby and them's from?
Who knows, man? The hood.
I love that New Edition movie. It's like 4 parts.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a very good one. You seen that one, Jarise?
No,
You haven't seen that?
It's on my DVR. Nope, I haven't watched it yet.
It's really
Once you watch
good.
the first one, you're just gonna roll into the second one.
It's 4 parts, right?
Yeah.
So on and so forth. It's pretty good though.
I heard a lot of spoilers, so yeah.
Yeah,
I already know it's pretty good.
We lived it, right?
I know, but you know when they portray it and all that stuff, and you're supposed to see behind the scenes stuff that no one really knew yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciated it more after I seen it. I tried to do the dance.
New Edition is classic. Huh?
Oh yeah. I'm sure when you hear the soundtrack to that documentary,
It's
every time you're just like, ugh.
jam after jam. Just imagine everything
Nostalgic.
that branched out from who New Edition was. Like, you know, Boyz II Men came from New Edition. You know what I mean? Another bad creation.
Hey, the East Coast family, right?
All of them.
ABC,
Bobby Brown,
BBD.
you know, Johnny Gill, Ralph Tresvant.
I always got airbrush shit because of them.
Gangsters.
Like, I still wear airbrush on occasion because of them. Shout out to Mike Belford for always lacing your boy.
Airbrush. Man. They were dope, man.
Nah, I fuck with it. So just talking about music, I think the last podcast Jake talked about Tape Vault and then and Dario the Wizard D-Dot
the Wizard, man.
And I remember when we were doing our campaign album, there was an Asian girl that was there. We were all chilling in the back.
Yeah.
We were all chilling in the back, and then I think y'all were eating Mama's. Oh, no, Brenda's before it was popping.
Yeah. They had the fire salmon. What's it called? With the poached eggs.
Salmon eggs Benedict.
That sounds good right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Brenda's. We were all there in the that garage parking lot area, and then she was just eating apple, and everyone else was eating shit. Like shit, like all these rap cats was eating like chips and fucking donuts and Brenda's, and she was out there with an apple. Knavery,
yep. She was dope. She is dope. You know what I mean?
EAP, right? Knavery.
Because I remember Dario reached out to me. He goes, "Hey man, I need someone to do cover art for this Knavery album," because she was just chilling with us, and she was on one of your tracks, wasn't she?
Yeah, she sang a couple hooks for me and Dago.
She's really good.
Yeah, she's really good. She's super good.
Yeah.
And then
she had that Zane vibe. You know what I'm talking about?
Very
them
soulful,
bald head chicks, like 30 Round Scoundrels. Janae.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
That was like her whole vibe was like,
hey, Mr. DJ.
Yeah, like her and D Dot would like make this music that kind of like, you know, the vibe was kind of like that vibe, you know, like feel good soulful music. So
Jarissa did their album cover.
Yeah, thanks for connecting us.
Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at Tape Vault?
At Tape Vault, yeah.
She was there one day. Were you there one day when I brought everyone in to record? Because I think you were just vibing in the session with them. Like, you were just sitting in the studio, and I was like, hey, what's up, Jarisse?
I think so. Wow, you got really good memory.
Yeah, no,
I had to dig in there for a minute. I think I did. I remember somebody was in the booth, and I walked in, and I think Dario was giving me a tour or something, and I was taking notes or whatever.
Yeah, Dario's a good dude, man. You want to hear a funny story about Dario?
Please.
So I used to go out with this girl in high school, and he took my girlfriend.
What?
He said funny story. I was waiting to hear the rest. He didn't like take my girlfriend like into which like she left me for him, but like me and this girl like had a falling out, and she just completely just stopped talking to me, and then like, you know, like a couple months later, the next thing I find out is that her boyfriend is this dude named Dario.
That's a DJ?
That's a DJ, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And then, you know, come to find out, like later on in life when it starts rolling, he becomes like one of the dopest engineers, producers that I've ever worked with, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
That's a very funny story right there.
Life is funny.
Yeah, it is.
That's
super
crazy.
funny.
I remember when we were recording the campaign album, he had this song that I've never heard outside of just Tape Vault. It was called Four Horsemen.
Oh, yep.
You were on that?
It was me,
Evan,
Evan, and there was one more person on there.
Coswell? No.
Oh, Coswell. It was Coswell.
It was Coswell.
Yeah. Shout out to Coswell, man.
That was... Hey, do you have that track?
Man, I'd have to like dig in like the oldest email I've ever had.
That's going back mid-2000s, right?
That's early right there. That's
a
long time ago.
That was one of my favorite songs. When I heard that shit, I was like, oh my God.
I remember that.
I ride with my horse. Do you remember your verse from that?
Hell no.
I ride with my horseman.
I want to hear that.
It was good. And
you should bring some old stuff.
I mean, you know what's crazy is like I could dig through my email and I could find some old stuff, but like stuff like that's hard to find, man. It's super duper throwback stuff that's just like
cough drop assist. I'm just calling it out right now.
You have to, you know who to ask is D Dot. I bet you D Dot has it all on like crazy old hard drives just chilling in his room somewhere.
Did you hand draw that album cover, Jarisse?
I did.
So you met both of them, then you kind of vibed and sat there in the recording session with them?
I don't think it was a recording session. I think they just finished.
Mastering?
And then I met him, and I asked what ideas they had, what vibe she was going for. She sent me a bunch of files. I sent her a bunch of drafts, drawings, and ideas, and then she would pick the one that, you know, direction that she wants to go in. And we worked for a while, and then I met it with D Dot in coffee shops and stuff to like.
That's very D Dot style of him.
Showed up with his
shop kind of dude.
Showed up with his bike, you know.
D Dot used to go on like camping trips by himself, and not like a regular like, hey, I rented out a spot at Yosemite type camping trips.
What?
Like I promise you, like we would be recording hard. You know, like weeks on end and like months just going straight hard in the studio, and he'd be like, all right, so next week I'm not gonna be around. I'm gonna go camping, and then he would go on like these bike rides by himself into like the straight up nature, like
what?
And by himself, dude.
Wow.
Like shit in holes and just be one with nature. Like it was like he was like the dude. Like I think it was like just to kind of like regroup with himself, just kind of like be one in tune with himself,
grounding himself.
Yeah,
I feel that.
That's the type of dude he is. But like by himself though, you know, like in the middle of nowhere, like. You know, like no other campers are around. You know, like
shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude.
Him in a book, maybe.
Yeah, that's
some batteries and the CD.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He would just be out there just chilling. He probably brought like his own food. I'm sure he wasn't out there like hunting like with a bow and arrow on him. But like, you know, just to be out there.
He was a slim dude. He didn't take much.
He's eating like wild berries or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's not eating crunch berries like us. He's eating wild berries.
But yeah, that's what he would do. I remember that like from time to time he would go on like these little D-Dot trips by himself and he'd come back, you know, like
Dario.
fresh. Yeah.
What's he been up to?
Last time I seen him
He
was
worked on a food truck. Little Green Cycle, I think, was his aunt. And then he was already a vet in the game when I came in the food truck game. He was already out there. He had spots, he had locked up, and he was trying to expand it for his family because it was a family brand.
Yeah.
And then I seen him when he was doing food trucks, and then he stopped going, and then I had a kid, he had a kid. And I caught him at Target, like, hey, what's up, D-Don? What's up, dude?
He's probably out there just being a dad, but in a D-Dot way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my guess. Keep it real.
He was very talented at production.
Easy dude.
He was dope. He's the original wizard, man. Like, you know, the thing about him is I like D.I. because he was like super talented first, like production-wise, ear-wise, even if it's like your song and not even his beat. Like he always had good input, whether it be, you know, change this or move this around or do that,
or drop the beat.
Yeah,
so
drop the beat, add effects, and he was always reliable, man. That's what I always liked about him.
Very professional.
Very professional.
That was the first thing I noticed about him.
You know, like he's just super reliable. Like
not no scumbag.
Yeah, you know, like
that's a real good dude, man.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude, man. Like he's super reliable, man. That's what you need out of people you work with on music. You know what I mean?
Shout out.
I think I was working on California, and then I seen him in Crossing, and this is like probably like right after the campaign finished. You know what I mean? And I was like, "What's up? What are you doing over here?" He goes, "I work over here, but I'm gonna quit. It's my last week. Like I just started working in the area." And I was like, "Fuck! I just started working over here." He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do engineer full time."
Yeah.
And then he just went head first.
Yeah.
Engineer full time, and then he did it. Like he was doing it.
Yeah, he had a lot of clients, a lot of dope people he worked with too, like on a regular basis. Last time I worked with him was actually in his house.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a setup in his house, and it was like, I was like, man, I really need to get this done. He was like, just come to my house, we'll do it in my house. And he lived like in the cuts, all the way like down towards the marina area, like this alleyway street. It was cool though. It was still D-Dot vibe, you know what I mean? We're just chilling over there, man.
And you got that invite because it's you to his house. It's
yeah.
Just to know what kind of D-Dot's a good dude, but he ain't no sucker.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't let anybody in that thing. Yeah, we worked for a long time, man. So
Tape Vault. There's a back room. Like there's like 3 different rooms in Tape Vault. I remember it was like the main production room. Then there was the booth, and then the room before the booth, where everyone kind of kicked it. There was like Tupac. Like there's a Tupac notebook there, right? There was a real Tupac notebook.
Yeah, I hope it was real. Because I thought it was real.
I thought it was real.
Yeah, did you ever go in the back room back there? So the reason why they call that room the tape vault is because in the back of the actual room, so before there's Pro Tools, they use ADAT tapes or whatever. So it's like this big library of like ADAT tapes from people that recorded at Hyde Street Studios.
Hyde Street Studios.
So if you look through them, you can see like Tupac's ADATs are all up on there.
Crazy.
Like those are like the real original recordings.
Yeah.
Too. It had like a whole bunch of like from Tupac all the way down to like Green Day, I think is on there, and it's like Parliament Funkadelic, like a whole bunch of like crazy like
Tape Vault
throwback music dudes. And then they had a notebook, which they said supposedly was Tupac's notebook, and you could actually open it and look at it, and it actually had like notes from like him writing like his first album, and like he had like the track listing, he had like lyrics in there, he had like ideas for the artwork.
It was a composition book,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, it was a composition book.
Those black and white ones.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
Yeah, dude, I was like, this is not real. Like, I look at it like, I don't.
I'd be like that
Who
too.
they tricking?
No, I'm surprised nobody tried to steal that thing.
I think there's so much respect for that studio
they just left it there.
that Yeah, that didn't happen. Wow.
High Street is main, dude.
High Street is main.
You go outside, there's people selling dope, crackheads everywhere. It smells like shit. You know what I mean? You go inside, it's like this illustrious, classic, legendary studio area, and it's like it's weird. You go outside and just human shit just right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I
was like, am I in the right place?
Yeah, it was rough.
Should I be here right now?
But it was like, once you get in there, it's like a whole different vibe. Man.
And you know you're safe because they buzz you in.
Yeah, and they had the dude with the big old dreadlocks tucked into
yeah, you paying $5 for park in the back.
And tucked into his little
pantyhose.
Yeah, he was cool too though, man.
Was that Souls of Mischief that shouted out High Street Studio? Yeah, right. 93 to Infinity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Shout out to High Street Studios and.
It's a legendary spot, man.
I didn't trip off that. I didn't I didn't understand how much work went into producing that album because I didn't want you guys to go in the studio right away. I wanted everyone to record at Bucks. You remember this conversation?
Yeah, and I told you, I was like, dude, it's not gonna work that way.
I was like, just record at Bucks. No, like record at Bucks, and then we'll figure out what we like, and then we'll go straight to the studio with a polished product. But yeah, that shit was.
You just gotta.
Everyone came out of pocket. Like everyone took turns coming out of pocket for that.
I mean, because at the end of the day, like, if you wanted to sound a certain way or sound like crispy, if you wanted to compete with other people's music, it has to sound just like it. Like as far as quality goes, you know what I mean? It's got to be up there. Like you can't just pop in, like so and so CD and then pop in yours and it's not up to par. You just automatically feel like, all right, well, I don't even want to hear this now, Well, I don't know, nowadays it might be different, but back in my day, and I was doing the thing, so
Did you, when you first started, did you like listening to your stuff? Like was it weird first hearing your voice?
It was.
For both of y'all. I want that question for both of y'all. Jarissa and Jake.
You first.
Yeah, Jarissa.
I fucking hated it.
You have a nice voice, though. That's why you sound good on the podcast. You have a nice voice. So.
I appreciate it. Well, at first, because I wrote a lot of poems, right? I wrote a lot in my journal. And then, so before getting into rapping, I always had poems and I shared it with people or whatever. But I never recorded myself and got used to my voice. So I didn't find my style. So like our first maybe 2 albums, they were grimy. I mean, because they were just in the room, no, nothing professional. You could hear all kinds of stuff in the background.
People eating bag of chips in the crunch.
We didn't know much about nothing, layering and all that stuff. And just, and in between, studying and everything else, it was just like pumping it out, And then, just being in a room with a bunch of people that I don't want to say like I just met, but I've never been in that situation with, friends and stuff. So
intimacy. That's very intimate.
It was they sit there and listen to you spit. And I was very self-conscious. Like I like performing, but at that time I don't think I found myself yet. Like just like my style, like that place you need to be. So I hated listening to my voice. Even now, if I like, I'm just like, ugh, cringe.
You know what's awkward about recording like that too is that when you're sitting in the room with somebody recording and everybody has to be quiet and nobody can hear the beat but him or her, and they're just like standing in the corner just letting it out like blah, 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 and you're just like sitting there like
that's true. That's true.
They're hella loud too because they can't hear themselves, so they're just like just letting it loose,
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there, and it's like because you don't know because you can't hear the beat, only they can hear the beat, so you're just like sitting there like, all right, cool, shit.
That's hella funny.
Would you say when you first rap, you kind of mimic someone's style?
I think so because
Were you trying to be like Lauryn Hill-ish?
Nah, I mean, there was a lot of, I want to say, good female role models back then in music, not necessarily just in rap, because back then it was about Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown.
Oh yeah, it was that
Missy,
the Il Nana, the Il Nana era.
So like growing up to that, you think that that's what you should sound like, but like I said, I was trying to find my style, and I wouldn't say I was trying to sound like them, but definitely inspired. What good stuff should sound like. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Who you mimic your style after, you think? Like when you first started rapping, because
man, that's hard, man. You know what it was is I don't know if I mimic styles, but I was more in tune with like crazy, like trying to put like some weird metaphors together. That's what kind of like inspired me. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I listened to a lot of Dre Dog when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy because we work with him now, but like when I was younger, like
You spoke it into existence.
yeah, like he used to come with like crazy metaphors. You know what I mean? So it used to just like blow me away. So like I used to try to come like that too. You know what I mean? So I was like inspired by stuff like that. You know? So I don't know. I was inspired by a whole bunch of stuff, man. But as far as like one style to mimic, I really didn't have like one person that I was like, oh, I want to sound like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you like your sound when you first started?
When I first started recording, not really. I still kind of don't, to be honest with you. Like
People like your sound more than you like your sound.
Yeah, you're always your worst critic because you always listen to it and you can always like pick apart exactly what you don't like. Like you always hear the things you don't like. You know what I mean?
I don't like how I said that word.
Yeah, exactly. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to. You know, but
yeah.
everybody's like, oh man, that was pretty dope. You know, so you're always your worst critic. That's why I try to like not listen to my music as much. I mean, I don't know, it's weird. It's like a love-hate relationship. Because I do like to listen to myself because I just want to hear like what I created. But at the same time, the more I listen to it, the more I pick it apart, the more I sometimes become not happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's better to get like a reaction from somebody else. You know what I mean? I get more gratification out of that. Like somebody, you know, out here, they go listen to this, and then they give me their feedback. So
You take criticism well?
You don't trip.
I think I do. I mean, I'm open to criticism all the time. Sometimes it's criticism into which I feel like if somebody's gonna tell me like, oh yeah, you know that verse could have been better or whatever, I could dig that. But like as far as like when somebody criticizes, like, you know, it's hard because like people always have their opinions on how you should do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody always has an opinion and they speak about it into which like it's that easy. You feel me?
Right.
Like, you know what I heard a lot like doing music coming up? You need to make a radio song. Like I
probably said that to you once or twice.
I would always hear that, and there's nothing wrong with that because if you think about it, you gonna have a radio song. That's the quickest way to blow up or put yourself on a plateau, right? But it's like, think about what that statement just said. It's like you need to make a radio song. Like, what is a radio song though? You know what I'm saying?
Was The Gig a radio song?
The Gig could have been a radio song. They probably could have played it on the radio, but I didn't make it in an angle to make it a radio song. You get what I'm saying? Like, there are certain songs that I might have came at it with an angle like, ooh, this one could be for the radio. But like when people used to always say like, you need to make a radio song, it used to irk the shit out of me because I'm like, you tell me what the formula of a radio song is. You know what I mean?
That's
it's like,
hard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you tell me the formula of what consists of a radio song. You know, like, all right, and then even nowadays, you know what I mean? People sometimes still tell me that. And I'm like, do you even listen to the radio anymore? And they're like, no, I don't listen to the radio. So I'm like, so why do I gotta make a radio song? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You ain't checking for me there.
exactly. Like, it just like sometimes it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like those little things I couldn't like. I'd be like, man, I heard it before. Like, you know, like even some.
It's easier now though, right? To make music,
Oh, it's way easier now, for
right?
sure.
Like, cause you guys really have to struggle. Like, if you got $1,000 solid dollars, you can make hella albums that and just put it out because people weren't checking the internet for music before. It was you'd be chilling in front of Tower Records like, hey, you listen to hip hop, or those dudes down on Market Street. Hey, you listen to hip hop? Like, get out of here! I see your nails are dirty.
You have to put in some elbow grease and do the actual work to like handing stuff out and telling people about yourself.
Different now. It's
It's different, but it's like, you know, it comes with the territory too, because you know we're also older, so like the things that we went through and the things that we had to do to get where we wanted to be is much different than, you know, what people have to do nowadays. And then so on and so forth, it's going to change again. So these people doing their thing right now with the access that they have, someone's going to come along when they get older and they're going to say the same thing, like, man, we had to get on SoundCloud. And then like, it's like nowadays, like, you know, who knows what the next step is after that, you know what I mean? And it just goes on and on and on, you know what I mean? Like, think about it like this. At one point, you couldn't listen to records inside of a car, you know what I mean? You had to listen to the radio and whatever they play. You didn't have access to a CD player or tape deck or anything like that. So to them, looking at what we was doing, they're probably like, oh man, you can listen to whatever song you want to at any time you want in your car, you know what I mean? Like, that must have been wild to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we're like looking at the you know, the
Crazy.
people on the internet like, man, you could just make a song, upload it there. People can listen to it a million times. You know what I mean? Like, it's just made man. It's just technology just pushes things forward, man. So.
I don't know. I remember, and then this is this sidetracking on music. Paloma used to do those open mics. You remember that, Jake?
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, man.
Oh,
You did?
yeah. What club was that at? It was over by Minna, but by like
I don't
Ty.
remember. What was that?
What that shit called?
It was like it was in a bar and they shared the live band with
Baron Kapakahi.
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 Shout out to Kapakahi. Kapakahi. My peoples. Baron Davis lived in, like over there because he would drive by all the time. They tore it down though, right? That club because you used to perform there. I remember you performed one time and there was this other dude that was there, and then they introduced you as Bar None, and then that guy was like, Bar None, that's a big name.
Yeah,
and I was like, he like you get a lot of flack for that name at first. Like,
you know, it's funny is the biggest joke out of that is Bar None, the candy bar. You know what I mean?
I thought it was William Floyd.
Oh not too many people knew that William.
Shout out to Saskatoon 49ers.
Not too many people knew William Floyd's nickname was Bar None. So a lot of people were like, Bar None, like the candy bar? And I was like, yeah,
bitch.
Yeah,
bitch.
Pretty much, man, so. But you know, I had a lot to prove back then. You know what I mean? I just felt like I had a lot to prove, especially like being a Filipino kid, like trying to rap.
Preach.
And I had a lot to prove. Man.
Preach.
It was like it was crazy because when I would just get out there and zone out, like people after they hear me doing my thing, they would give me respect after that. You know what I mean? It was just whatever.
I'm not trying to burn anyone, but this is a story I heard. There's this club in Daly City called The Wedge, and then I remember Jake opened up for this rapper. I'm not gonna say who this rapper's name is, but I'm gonna just leave that out. Jake opened up for this rapper, right? And then when Jake performed, Jake has family, and family will always support his shit. And then they roll deep. And it's scary sometimes how deep they roll, especially if Jake's in Daly City, in his city, and there's a performance, and it's at a bar, people are gonna show out. Jake went on stage, rock. I think CB was there too, right? Did he perform?
I think he should have been there, unless he was still in jail at that time.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
Jake went out there, rocked it, rocked the shit out of that club. And as soon as his set was over, you see more than half the club go outside to smoke a cigarette with Jake. The headliner was ready to perform and was like, "Hey, could you tell some of the people that I'm gonna perform now so they can come back inside?" And then it took Jake to be like, "Hey, y'all, let's go inside and let's watch him perform now." It took Jake because this dude wasn't giving you no love at first.
Well, you know what? He did give me love though, because you know how that came about is that they already had the show booked. Like they had booked it already. You know what I mean?
Without you on the bill?
Without me on the bill at first.
Okay.
And then somebody had mentioned to them like, "Hey man, why don't you holler at Bar None? You know he's from Daly City. Like you should holler at him because you're gonna do a show like straight up in his neighborhood and." You should holler at him to come out or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they already had like pressed up a flyer and everything for it. And then they told me like, "Hey man, we got a show in Daly City. Dude's cool. You want to come out?"
This is MySpace days, right?
Yeah, it's MySpace days. He's like,
"You
want to come out and rock a couple songs or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, I'll come out." So then I just told everybody like,
"I'm gonna be in Daly
everybody
City."
He's like, "Hey, I got a show right down the street. Come over, you know." So then it was by default because like some people even just walked there. Like, they literally like was drinking. They walked down the street and we was just there already. You know what I mean? So it was by default. You know what I mean? I was in my known territory or whatever.
But you rocked the shit out of that party.
Yeah, man.
You rocked the shit out of the party, and you made the headliner feel like an opening act. I remember because it got back to me, and I was like, "Fuck! I wish I was at that show."
I like going first, bro.
Yeah?
I like at shows. I like to go first. Well, I like to go first because then that gives me the opportunity to set any kind of bar I want. like to be real with you, like
bitch.
There's nobody before me So it's kind of like
you set the tempo.
I don't have to like live up to whoever was before me because there's nobody before me. So whatever energy I've come out with right now, you know what I mean? If I come out with the good energy and a good performance, then they'll probably remember me because I'm first, and then it gives it a harder time for the person after me. You know?
Yeah.
That's like it's like I would look at things like that as like friendly competition. You know what I mean? Like that's, whether it even be like in the studio, like we can do a song together. I look at it like, man, I'm about to just.
I'm about to demolish this shit.
I would try to, outshine everybody who's gonna be on the song. That's just the way I like.
I'm gonna shit on the stage and hand you whatever left over.
I used to get a kick out of it. You know what I mean? So
that's a good mentality to come at it with.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they would ask like, "Yo, so we don't have a lineup. Who wants to go first?" I'd be like, "Me. I'll go first." They'd be like, "All right, cool." And then it's also because like. Going on stage too, like even to this day, I still get nervous. You know what I mean? Like even like going, we did plenty of shows, but even till this day, I still get nervous. You know what I mean? So
what kind of nervous?
It's more like
you gotta get that first song
it's
out.
like not like butterflies, but it's more like I gotta step out there in front of all these people and just do this right.
I gotta shit real quick.
So like going first, it's like you just get it over with. Then I could just chill, relax, have drinks, joke around, fuck around. You know what I mean? Like it's harder sometimes when you're chilling there and you're just waiting your turn.
Yeah, that's
like
the worst.
8 people in front of you and you're just like, and then like, a couple people might get it hyped and then a couple people might kill the crowd. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and it's cool too though, because like if somebody kills the crowd before you, then it's, even though it might.
They just sunk down the tempo.
Yeah, it might make you look better if you bring it back, but it's hard to bring people's attention back if somebody just killed it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
yeah.
It's just weird, But yeah, like even to this day, I still get nervous or whatever. But I used to love going first, man.
Wow, that's humbling to know.
What's the biggest crowd
ever that I did?
That you felt like you don't know numbers, but you looked out to the crowd. You're like,
biggest crowd by far is Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
That's
man, that's the best.
That's always the biggest crowd. It looked like a music festival, dude. Like when we get out there, bro. Like they feel
it's all the college kids, huh?
Yeah, and they come to. And you know what's cool about Santa Cruz too? There's a couple spots that I always like.
Shout out to Banana Slugs.
Yeah, Banana Slugs. Man. It's always cool because Santa Cruz always comes hella deep. They're always there, and the crowd is always hella cool. Like they always show love. They always show love. Yeah, you know. What
they
I mean?
stay in college.
They love music out there.
Yeah, they love music. It's hella dope. Like they just rock with you for real. So, but yeah, I think crowd wise, that's probably the biggest one.
Wow. Dope.
Santa Cruz is fun, man.
Where'd you perform that you're like, why am I performing here? No, hold on. Let me take that two ways. Like one way would be like, this is a shitty ass venue and there's no one here, or another way would be like,
I've done a couple.
I didn't think this would be as poppin' as it is being in this area or this city.
Just for a perfect example, we did a show in Half Moon Bay like 3 weeks ago, and
you talked about that. Your mom seen the kiosk.
Yeah, that like for example, like that show right there. I didn't expect it to be like that. It was like yanking in there.
Really?
It was cracking in there. I was like, Jesus Christ! But I was like,
in Half Moon Bay?
Half Moon Bay.
Was it mostly white people?
Yeah, of course. And they're all.
I'm just wondering what the demo was. You know what I mean?
Actually, hella cool too. Because then even after we performed, they like, a couple people came up like, "Hey, good job up there, man. Like, how do you guys like Half Moon Bay? You know what I mean? Like, blah blah blah. You guys should come back and stuff." I'm like, "Hell yeah, this is cool." You know what I mean? They're like super cool. You know
hella friendly.
And they go, fuck. When I say fuck, you say you. Fuck you. You used to do that?
No, I used to say when I say fuck. When I say fuck, you say bar none. Fuck bar none. Fuck bar. I used to come to shows with a shirt that would say fuck bar none.
And just yelling at the crowd, and they just get into it, huh?
Be like, who's bar none? You know what I mean? And I get on stage with a bunch of dudes that had shirts that said fuck bar none. You know what I mean? It was like reverse psychology. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's hella funny.
It was. I've done also shows where it was like, man, this is rough right now.
Yeah.
It's like
Azul would be rough. There were some of the Azul parties were kind of rough, where everyone's rapping in a circle.
I did a show one time on,
it was like they made their own cipher. I'm sorry.
Sometimes that's how it was, man. It used to be, like Rappers rapping for rappers, man. Sometimes it was really like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I did a show one time. It was like off a third, like near Snowdrift. But it was like this cutty-ass place. It was like in a
Il
basement.
Parada.
Bro, and they had like airplane seats in there, man.
What?
It was weird as shit, man. It was like a room probably like as big as this. Like,
It was called a hangar.
yeah, they had airplane seats in there, dude. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. But, you know, it's all fun. You got to do it, whether it's 2 people or 2,000.
Yeah.
You gotta keep
Yeah.
doing it, man.
Think of it as practice.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
I remember we had a whack crowd, and it was for like a benefit. You remember the Philippines caught underwater, and we did that benefit show. We had hella people on that bill. There was like 7 people there. It was like donate food or give money.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was over there on Geary, right?
That was Club Lamia.
Club Lamia.
Smell like they used to put mothballs in the urinals, so whenever you pee,
Oh,
it smelled like You remember that shit? It's like, fuck, this is such an Asian club. Club Lamia.
That place,
So good.
Tasha's cousin bartends there. Not bartends. He used to be a bouncer. It's called something different now. They flipped it out. It's like a karaoke bar.
It's nice?
Yeah, it's cool. Shit.
You know those Asian karaoke bars? I think I want to say it's in Chinese. In direct translation, it's called thigh bar. Because you know how there's like a hostess? And then you pay for that hostess and you can put your hand on their thigh.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to Google it. Thigh bar, like Paper Moon over there.
Yeah.
They used to be a thigh bar.
It's like an underground turn up. Almost.
Underground turn up.
Yeah, we should talk about turn up.
Turn up.
Oh man. But yeah, I've never been to Paper Moon. Like, I would see the outside of it. Like, what the hell's going on in there?
That's over there in San Bruno.
There's like an underground operation going down in there right now, dude.
It's Isla now, though.
Oh,
right?
is that Isla?
Yeah, if they flipped to the Isla. Shout out to the all-you-can-eat white rice.
Question for y'all: what is the best Filipino restaurant in the vicinity?
In the vicinity here?
Yeah, like whether it be the city or Daly City or South City or whatever. I gotta hear the consensus.
I'm gonna let Jarissa go first.
I always like Kuya's. That's my go-to.
Kuya.
It
I don't know if
tastes
I've
and it
had-
feels
where's
authentic.
Kuya's at?
I want to say the downtown of San Bruno.
Same street as Isla.
What they think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never had that actually.
Almost like 2 buildings away from Isla.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Isla looked like a mall. That's just hella big. It's bigger than Cleo's.
I've never
know.
tried Isla's either.
It's cool,
Yeah.
right? They got famous for their the kamaya, right?
Yeah.
That green.
Oh, you eat on the
On the
Yeah,
table
yeah.
with your hands.
I've
I don't
never
know
done
about
either, man. See?
I'm American.
I love that
Hey, man.
stuff.
I do like it, but give me a spoon and fork.
I'll eat it like that. Fuck. Yeah,
Not
fowls
out.
like crab and fish and lumpias and
I'm lazy with crab. My wife would crack my crab.
It's funny. With
Ask
your
me.
hands.
Ask me. Let you know. I don't crack crab, bro.
you sound like my dad and my mom.
Hey,
It's the same
you feel
thing.
me? That's what's a
My
happy
mom will
marriage.
crack a whole crab
For your
without
pop.
eating anything, and she'll crack the whole crab and then just eat it just like that.
That's
But
what's up.
my dad don't like eating crab like that because he doesn't like doing
Getting,
the work. You know?
getting his hand dirty.
And then my mom will crack him a crab too. But it's crazy because I can't. How do you resist cracking a whole crab without eating anything? It's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
I like getting that stuff out the way so I could just dig in.
yeah, I eat the crab as I go.
Cause you eat it. You eat it hot then, right?
Eat it hot, eat it cold, whatever.
I'm hungry.
Eat it all. I'm about to eat crab next Friday, man.
Filipino.
My favorite is Patio Filipino, man.
I've only been there once or twice.
Dude, they got the
Where's that at again?
El
It's
Camino,
on El Camino.
San
No,
Bruno.
it's top 5 in National Geographic, man.
Really?
Patio.
Top 5 Filipino restaurants, man.
I gotta try it.
Try it. You know what they have is the lechon cooked in bagoong. I don't know. I don't forget how you pronounce it, but it's straight.
That's
Fire.
cooked in bagoong.
Yeah, they serve it at like a like the eggplant skin when it comes with mangoes and tomatoes. Oh my god,
Ooh.
bruh.
That balance is crazy, right? So
Yeah.
it's like super salty and then sweet.
Sweet.
Then you get the rice to kind of dull everything out.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That's why Filipinos got high blood sugar,
I would do
bro.
with rice, even though rice got
I'm
no
like-
flavor.
I'm like risking my life every time I go there, bro.
No, I feel you.
I'm like standing on the edge.
Yeah,
every single time
I'm
I go there, bro.
I got my meds on deck.
Yup, for real. I'm willing to risk it all for that type of stuff. Right?
Oh shit, I don't know.
The only reason I asked that because my manager, who is a white lady, she's not really too familiar with.
Shout out to LJ.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
She's super cool. Like,
she's super cool.
But me and my other manager, we're Filipino, so she just came up one day. She's like, "Yeah, I have a friend coming in.
Shout out to Shan.
She's Filipino. She wants to eat Filipino food when she gets out here. Like, what do you suggest?" And I was like, "That's a good question right there." And my answer was like, "Oh, my auntie's house or something." It's really like
home cooked.
Yeah, home cooked is just But
I would have the first Filipino restaurant I remember going to consistently as a kid was Max's.
Oh, Max's is always
and
that's always a good
the
one.
Max's I know was over when it was by like the round table, and you know what a star bread is? That's the Max's.
Damn, that's super.
Yeah,
That's super.
I used to go to that Max's as a kid. I remember going there, and Max's what I would always get there consistently would be the crab fried rice.
Damn,
Crispy pata, deep fried pig's foot. Holler at your boy. I will use my hands for that motherfucker.
Risking your life.
You feel me? With soy sauce and like vinegar and garlic.
I'm hungry now.
That fat, it's like a fat crack. It's like the fat part, and then you crack a crack. It's like, oh, bitch. This shit stuck to my teeth, but it's so good.
What you got to try? You go to the Max's next time is the crispy Dijon. You ever try that?
Oh, hell yeah.
What is that?
Try that?
Mm-hmm. Hella good.
Dude, it's like looks like a dinosaur bone, bro.
Oh, that's what we would call it.
Dinosaur bone?
Dinosaur bone.
It's Fred
A
Flintstone.
plate with like 3 big ass bones just leaning on each other.
What?
It's like a deep fried beef rib, bro.
You know what the worst is for you that my dad used to make? And I'm talking about terrible shit, but it's so fucking good. Is chicharron bulaklak.
Oh, man.
Jarissa, what is the exact translation of what chicharron bulaklak is, Jarissa?
Chicharron. Well, first off, chicharron is what? This pig skin and pig intestines.
Right?
Deep fried.
And that's straight pulutan. That's straight like drunk food, right?
Yeah, pulutan is something you eat when you drink with your fingers. It's nothing like, it's not like a, it's just something to pick on. And you eat it with vinegar, chopped up garlic, with a little pepper.
I'm about to go to Seafood City after this, man. And see if they got it on Jack.
Hella good.
But chicharron bulaklak is like ruffled fat with like a little piece of meat in the middle, right?
Yeah.
My dad used to make that shit at the house. Oh my god, and it would be like a meal sometimes. Hence why your boy is a big boy. So all back.
Eat it with rice. Ooh.
Chicharron bulaklak
That's
though.
fire. Even little Jake, he loves that stuff, bro.
I'm
Just
down.
that little piece of meat that you find in the middle is just.
I seen this,
bitch.
I seen a picture online around Valentine's Day. It was a bouquet. It was supposed to be a bouquet of flowers, but it was a bouquet of chicharron bulaklak.
Oh, I'd take that any day.
I said,
Forget
Tom's
flowers.
Like, yeah, happy Valentine's Day. He's like, oh shit.
My mom and dad used to purposely whenever they cook like chicken, like they would take the skin off, and then my dad would just deep fry that bitch afterwards. So it'd be chicken skin bulaklak. Oh, that's my shit. Chicken skin chicharron.
That's crazy.
That is
Chicharron bulaklak, man.
My dad could cook. If anything, shout out to you, pops. He could cook. My dad could get down. That's why I'm not a small guy. My dad could throw down.
That's a gift your parents gave.
Yeah.
Some of
Good food.
Yep. He would make broke food good. Like there was this thing he did. All right, so he had like hot dogs, right? And he'll chop it up, and then he'll like saute it with onions, and then he'll saute it with like ketchup. So it was like a ketchup like hot dog thing. I thought shit was delicious.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Only my dad made that shit, and his torta's good.
Torta. I love torta.
Great. Like cheap food.
Hell yeah.
What do you put in your torta?
Well, there's different kinds, right? There's the eggplant torta,
I fuck with that.
right?
I fuck with that so tough.
You cook the torta in the fire. Then you wait for it to cool down. You peel off the skin. Then you mash it a little bit. Then you put some egg and a little bit of vegetables. Fry that shit up.
That's like
Sometimes you
the
could
real
put in
one,
meat.
right? That's like the original
Torta
Yeah.
talong.
Yeah.
There you go, torta
Woo!
talong.
Get some
Then-
culture, bitches.
Then there's other torta where it's just like ground meat with whatever you want to throw in it, vegetables or whatever, and egg. Dang, you can make anything with egg and meat.
You know what? I even eat the torta even without the egg, like just straight. You know that they put the ground beef with the mixing with the vegetables. And then you know how you put it with the egg to make torta. I eat it without the egg sometimes. Just slap it on top of rice.
True.
You could do that all day.
That's the shit. And just mix up your rice hella good. So it's like
exactly.
your kid just mix that shit up hella good.
Everybody loves torta, dude.
Everyone loves.
If you go to Chibog's, that's another good Filipino place.
I have yet to eat there.
My boy told me that's hella good too.
It's hella good. You order the torta, it's hella big. It's like the size of the plate.
That's what's up.
Ooh, put hella ketchup on that bitch.
I heard Chibog's is pretty fire.
Do you do jufran or do you do tomato ketchup with your torta?
You know what?
I'm not picky, but I would choose jufran. I like the tamis anghang.
Yep, hot stuff. Let's get cultural. Tamis anghang is sweet and hot.
Yeah.
That's Jarissa sweet and hot, guys.
See, I like that one with the. That's the one that they use with lumpia, right? Like the spicy sweet and sour sauce.
That's kind of like that chicken chili sauce, right? It's like that chili glaze.
Yeah, sweet chili with the peppers in it. That's what you use with the lumpia.
Shit. Just touching back on just torta and my dad. And remember I said I would hate to crack crab. As a kid, my dad knew I wouldn't crack crab. Yeah. He would crack the crab down the next day because I wouldn't eat that shit. And he would make crab torta.
Dude,
so for my birthday, what do you want? I say I want crab torta. That motherfucker would come out with a crab torta.
Oh, wow. Thanks for bringing that up. I think I want that.
Yep.
I think I'm going to do that.
Right? That's
It's like the high class poor man's meal right there.
You feel me? You got someone to show your food for you and it's bomb. You knew it was real because you'd bite this shit like, damn, pop. Took my tooth out. I was in this meal right now. I'm not sitting here mushing the egg and make sure there's no shells.
I mean, that's pretty much what Filipino food is, though. It's like the poor man's meals, but like on another level. You know what I mean?
We got.
Yeah, no, for real. They use like their fishes aren't like the most, like sought after fishes. You know what I mean? Like the pieces of pork they use are the most like sought after pieces. So on and so forth.
Making something out of nothing.
From the rooter to the tutor, we eat everything.
It's delicious.
We don't like to wait. we even eat fish bones sometimes. With the little fishes, dried fish, or you deep fry it and you can eat the bones.
I ate toyo the other day.
I've never eaten that, bro. I'm sorry. I hate the smell.
Toyo?
I hate it. I hate when someone's frying it.
Fire.
I hate the smell. Is it?
Straight fire.
That.
So good.
Fuck that. I'm a snob. I'm sorry.
Straight fire, bro.
I'm a Jollibee Filipino.
Toyo, bangos.
Bongos. I fuck with bongos because I don't gotta pick out the bones. The toyo, you gotta look for the bones, right?
I eat the straight bone. I eat it.
If it's cooked good, you could bite through.
Really?
The head, the face, everything, bro.
You know what's real? When there's like fish sinigang and you see like a grandma go for the eye and then scoop the eye out of the fish head and then put that shit in their mouth and then suck all the guts out that shit and then just put like a little fish eye, like little bone there. Like
I would never.
You're at a Filipino house now.
I don't eat fish eyes though.
You eat the whole thing.
I mean, toyo, it's like this big.
Because the eye is like nothing
like,
after that.
It's like fried to crispiness, like. It's a little different when you see it in a soup.
Boneless is my shit though. Boneless. I ain't picking out no. I hate fish. I gotta pick out bone. I think I'm traumatized as a kid. I was always get this shit stuck in my throat. So I just stopped fucking with fish. I was like, no,
shit's scary.
Not doing fish.
Y'all eat balut?
I do it. I think we all should on record it.
Visual.
That's one thing I've never done.
That would be hella good.
Eat balut.
I'll drink the juice, and then if there's a little bit of yolk, I'll eat that. But then other than that, like the beak.
It's just for me, I think it's just. I'm pretty sure if people eat it like that it's not that bad. But it's just a little too real for me.
You gotta chew it though. You know what I mean? And then you feel the bones crunch.
It's just a little too real for me, man. It's just like they're all like curled up. In there.
I know.
What if it's curled up and it looks up at you like?
It's just a little too real.
Oh shit! I just drank your juice.
They had it on Fear Factor, dude. That's how you know. It's like
I just drank it.
It would be nothing though if someone said, "Okay, let's do this. Let's, I think it would
juice.
be nothing." Man. But if I had to choose to do it, Oh yeah, with salt, like the big salt.
Yeah.
Rock salt.
You ever tried the like the pickled egg? You ever try that?
No, I've never tried that.
The purple egg. It's a purple egg.
Oh yeah.
Salted egg.
Salted egg.
Yeah.
Bitter as fuck.
They eat it with like
Tomato and
Yes.
onions.
Oh, that shit's hella good.
That's just good with fish.
That's
Yes.
Like fried tilapia. Well, my wife will take all the bones away. You know what I mean? I'm a kept man. So
You are.
That's cool, man.
no. That's that shit.
Shout out Ish, man,
Yeah,
for
for real.
taking care of my dude.
Oh, you
man.
know. She held it down.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah, she held it
Oh,
down.
man.
That's that
That's
shit.
what's up, though.
No, but then just talking about balut, like I wouldn't. There's this thing called Penoy. Do you know what that is? So it's a different level of balut to where it's
like a full grown.
it's more yolk. There's no bird.
Oh.
So it has the same kind of juice. It's just like having chicken broth, right?
mean,
It's
I
all
think-
like veiny. The yolk looks veiny.
Yes.
I think I could do that.
Veiny.
Like when it's like when you can see like a face and all that, like it's like bruh.
And the eyeball,
Yeah,
it's still
like,
like half
real.
open.
Some of them got feathers already
Poor
and all that.
thing.
I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can do it.
I think I said on a previous episode, someone was selling that shit on Facebook Marketplace, like balut. There's some have fresh balut. Fuck that.
That's a tough one right there.
You know what I do like though? I like quail eggs.
Oh, the small ones?
Yeah,
That's
Those are
cool.
quail eggs.
Yeah, quail eggs is good.
Little pop, you know what I mean?
Pop.
Quail eggs is cool.
Little quail eggs.
Eggs are just delicious, period. But blood, I don't know.
I can't do it, huh?
It's just a little much, man. It's a little much. Like I could eat lechon with the pig face just right there.
Oh.
Like, I can do that, but like blood. It's
Big
just
face, honey.
Have
Just
you
a
watched
little.
lechon get cooked from live animal to
Anthony Bourdain.
like in person?
Anthony Bourdain.
And I've
did it.
not when it was like alive and then
Dude,
cooked.
that shit's fucking brutal.
It's kind of like what they do with the
Well, 'cause
dog, right?
My dad used to do it, so I grew up
shit.
watching that. Right, so he would like, and it's so
Barbaric.
It's so cruel. He would chase a pig around and with a mallet, right,
Whack it.
knock it out, keep hitting it until it knocks out, and you could just hear the screams, and you just feel so bad, and it's like it's getting woozy, and then you see the bumps, and
Damn.
then when it's knocked out, then they slit the throat. I'm sorry, I'm getting really graphic. They just slit it. Then they hang it upside down and drain everything. Then they,
Prep it.
They prep it, like they shave
Shave
it
it.
and all that,
That's right.
and they just clean out
You
all
don't
the
want no hairy
intestines
pig.
and stuff. Dude, they used to traumatize me. I couldn't eat lechon forever, even until now. Like I can't
Really,
really.
you don't eat it at all?
I don't unless
What
I
about
really
like
have to. But
lechon kawale? Can you do that?
I choose not to.
Lechon wale.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when I was in the Philippines recently, like, Ralph's family, they did the same thing. Like, I had to watch the whole process.
From the cradle to the grave.
Yeah, and I told Ralph, I'm like, I'm not eating. And I walk in the kitchen. Oh, Jarissa, hand it to me. I'm like,
You gotta eat it.
yeah, you gotta eat it. I'm
Yeah.
disrespectful. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's one thing.
It's good.
It's hella good, though. It is,
Go
but
to a Filipino
damn.
household, they offer you some food, you better eat.
eat.
They're going to talk shit about you if you don't eat.
It's good. American girl, huh?
You
High
don't eat
maintenance. High maintenance.
You don't eat lechon.
She has baby wipes
I learned that
in the bathroom.
I learned that the hard way when I was a kid, dude. I went to my boy's house, and like his family was like, just a traditional Filipino family. Like they spoke Tagalog, and he spoke Tagalog and all that.
Yeah.
And they offered me some food, and I honestly didn't. I wasn't hungry, but like they pushed me for like a straight like
You have to
hour.
eat.
Like, come on, eat. You don't like my cooking? Come on. Oh, I'm like, bro, just not hungry, right? And I was like a little kid, so I'm like. Then my friends start looking at me like, you're not gonna eat, you better eat, man. Whoa. Like,
What's
damn.
wrong with you?
So then after that experience, I was like, if I ever walk into somebody else's household and they're Filipino and they offer me something to eat, or just anybody in general, it's
Yeah.
like, sure, I'll have some food.
Yeah, your friends look like the United Nations. his core.
Yeah.
Shout out to GL.
Yeah, grass, grub life, man.
Yeah, they core. Y'all look like the UN.
got a couple Filipinos, got
Benetton ad.
a Chinese dude, got a couple
Latin.
Spanish dudes,
That's
You got a Chinese Latin dude.
Yeah, got Arabic dudes, got a couple black dudes.
Multicultural.
Yeah. So it's cool though. Shit, learn about a lot, man.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. What the fuck else? So shout out to Jake's about to have his wedding anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
1 year.
1 year.
Wow.
That's 1 year married and like 17 together.
Damn.
Wow.
Same shit, right? It's the same shit.
Same
Happy
thing,
wedding
man.
anniversary,
Thank you,
early
thank
wedding
you,
anniversary.
Thank you. It's on 420, so on Saturday, you know, it would be the whole world would be lit, man. So,
Lithuania.
What you guys got planned?
so on Saturday, so on Friday we're gonna eat sushi at Amami because I've just been craving that. We both have.
Ooh, sushi.
If you guys haven't tried Amami, I suggest you do. So
Where's that at?
It's on San Bruno, right across from Walgreens. They have the best fish there, bro. They have an omakase plate, like the chef's choice.
Oh, dude, that place is good.
So they have that
On El Camino?
on El Camino. There's that Ichiban Chan, whatever place that's still there. It's been there forever, right?
Uh-huh.
Then there's this little plaza. It's like a small plaza. And there's a Amami Sushi Bistro in there. Go over there and eat sushi, bro. Straight
Like raw
fire.
fish shit?
Raw fish. We order omakase and then we get like grilled squid and then we order a couple rolls to go with it. But I guarantee you, it's the best chef's choice sashimi plate you'll ever have.
It'll change your life.
Change your life.
Okay.
We're gonna do that, and then Saturday we are gonna go to the R&B Rewind concert.
Jagged Edge, right?
Ooh.
Jagged Edge.
You'll throw it back with something.
That was one of the albums I forgot to mention last week.
Oh yeah.
You can go trade it
Jagged
all.
Edge.
It was Jagged Edge, 112, Silk, and Nax.
Oh, that is a good lineup.
I've been on my R&B
A lot
shit
of
lately, man. So,
reminiscing.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, at least you can show up to that show and not worried about like getting shot or getting into a fight or something. It's gonna be like all older people with like me.
Two-stepping.
Yeah. Hard two
On
steps.
some R&B vibes type shit. You know what I mean? So
What
should be cool.
show I like missed out on and I was so mad until it was like after the fact was a Bad Boy reunion tour.
Oh, yeah, same here.
That's a tour that I seen
Same.
after the fact. I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm not trying to be there. And then I seen people's stories and I was like, fuck, that would have been the jam to
Fucking
been at.
crazy, yeah.
I didn't go. You know why? It's West Side Death Row forever.
Ah!
Nah, I just missed out on that one, man. But yeah,
Damn.
but you know they got like the millennial tour going on right now.
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
that's like not my era, but yes, it's weird because you see a lot of
People.
the people of the generation after us. Their people are starting to come around like on some throwback shit almost. You know what
What's
I
the
mean? So
millennial tour? What's the
it's
lineup
like
there?
B2K and like
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Raz B.
yeah, B2 is like B2K and like Soldier Boy or you know.
Really?
I was never into
Yeah,
that.
it's like that, like Lil Bow Wow or whatever. I don't know.
Shad Moss.
Yeah, Pretty Ricky. I don't know.
Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky. You know the story behind Pretty Ricky? So apparently Pretty Ricky is so there's like 5 of them, right? Or something, whatever. But they all have the same dads but different mom.
Damn.
And the dad's name is Ricky. Pretty Ricky.
What?
Yeah. They all but then there's only one real singer.
Yeah.
What was his name? Pleasure P? Right? I don't know.
He's the only one with talent, man.
He was the only real singer. And, like there was like a rapper and there was like harmonizers. But yeah, Pretty Ricky.
cool.
Google that shit. I don't know if it's true. That's what I heard.
Yeah, man. Pretty Ricky though. They had a couple slaps. I'll give it to them.
Yeah, they did.
They had that one.
Pleasure P.
It's 5 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good song.
It was like very R&B hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever thought about fucking with the R&B hip hop like autotune? I know you have.
Yeah.
I know you have autotune track.
Yeah, dude, but I'm not like heavy into it though.
No, but you're a soulful dude though.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. You know what it is? I don't know that.
Get over the shit.
No,
Get over this shit. Just do
It's
it.
just it's hard. Like it's not hard, but it's like to actually come with some angles, like with some melodies. It's not that easy, bro.
I got you.
Try it.
Hey, if Snoop did it with a sexual,
I mean,
I hated that song.
Exactly.
Sexual
Yeah.
seduction.
Exactly. You hated that song.
I don't. I appreciate Snoop as Snoop, but I
Yeah,
don't
no, I love
appreciate
Snoop
Snoop as an artist. Shout out to Hess.
You see?
Shout out to Hess.
But that's the same principle of like somebody telling me do a radio song. You
Yeah.
said do an auto-tune song, and then you said, "Oh, remember Snoop shit? I hated it." You really like
But I really like Post Malone shit right now.
Post Malone because you know what? If you take Post Malone's auto-tune away, he actually can carry a melody. You get what I'm saying?
I think you got it. I've heard you sing No Homo.
I'm alright. You know what I mean?
I would love to hear
You're a
that.
soulful
If
dude.
I would come out with a real singing album. I'm just have a different name and everything.
That's true. That would make sense.
For
That would be
real.
a good angle.
Where like every picture of me would like be in a shadow, so you really don't know what I look like.
Let's do it. I want to do an auto-tune
You know what I mean?
track.
Like,
I don't rap, but I think that'd be
straight-
really fun.
Yeah, just come out, just be like a mystery person. You know what I mean? Do interviews in the dark, with, like a hat on, like this.
Like Sia.
So
Well,
they
I'm
don't
like,
know it's me, man.
let's do it. That'd be dope.
So my cover will never be blown. You know?
No, you still have medical coverage because you have a real job still.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to then be like, oh man, I gotta come with a sick ass name first. So then they can, it can catch on.
We'll just do that mixtape shit. Whatever hot song, we'll just do like an auto-tone version of it just to create the mixtape buzz.
I gotta come with a different identity.
Oh man.
Singing, man.
On the top of your head, what would your name be?
I gotta think about it, man.
Do it. What
It'd be
what
something
would the
crazy like.
name be?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. What would be a good name?
Like cream cheese.
Yeah,
smooth, like cream,
something
smooth, cream
like,
cheese. Like little something. Little.
cream cheese.
Like what is that thing? Your rapper name would be Little and whatever you just bought. Mine was like Little Popcorn Chicken.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh shit.
What was the last thing I bought? Little BART ticket.
Little fast pass.
Little fast pass, man.
Mine was Aquafresh.
See, that's a dope name.
Little Aquafresh.
I was late to Aquafina. She's dope. Have you heard of
she's
her?
dope. Yeah,
Yeah. I was late to her.
I never heard of her.
You never heard of her?
Aquafina?
All right, Aquafina's dope. She's like an Asian chick from New York. That's very hipsterish, right?
She's
if I
an
give
Asian,
her a bite.
rapper.
Yeah.
Aquafina.
And she was on
AWK.
she got big on YouTube first, and she has a little comedy behind her raps too. It's not what you would expect, I guess. And then she got booked on, little gigs for movies and things like that. Then blew
I
up.
gotta look that up now.
She was on like Google commercials, like Google.
Yeah.
How do you take care of a fern? Like she was an actual like. She got.
She's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. Like Aquafina, because she's awkward.
I like her voice.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Jarissa, what's up with the coloring book? What's the details?
Oh yeah, the coloring book. I don't know. It's going good. I was really happy with the pre-sales, with the
Dope.
pre-orders. I want to thank everybody, and I'm trying to find an extra special way to thank everyone who ordered during pre-orders. And then I'm trying to get it on other platforms so that when it's time to do the regular sales, that folks can buy it everywhere. Like Amazon and whatever.
Dope.
You gonna
Yeah.
have like physical copies for sale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm definitely gonna grab some
Right on. Thanks.
for sure. That's dope.
Jake
Thank you.
album.
Album, just chilling all nice, man.
Chilling that 5 out of the sky,
It's still there. It's just chilling, We like I said, we focus on CB right now, so.
And CB's he's done with his tour, right?
Yes. For now, yeah. So there's no shows. There's a 420 show, but
Where's that at?
I want to say it's like somewhere far. Not
Oh,
like
that's
super far,
like
but
Stockton, huh?
yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? It's like
Tracy, you gotta show him
there's always
Tracy.
a 420 show, so they'll be doing that, man. But he's wrapping up his little solo project, so that's gonna come out soon. So
Nice.
He did an album with Andre
he
Nicotina.
did an album with Dre, Cooking on a Come Up.
Mhm.
He's got another one. I think they're gonna do a round 2. It's gonna be called Bass Rocks. So
Bass Rock.
So they're gonna keep it rolling, man.
I think I seen that. I think I seen that. Shout out to
C Biscuits. Man.
yeah CB Fan Biz.
Yep.
CB Fan Biz. And your IG is FAM_BIZ.
FAM_BIZZ.
Jarissa's Delarice.
Delarice DELA_REESE.
And they can buy the comic book, the coloring book
The coloring
where?
book, it's going to be on regular sales. It's on lifebreedsart.com. And hopefully soon it'll be on other platforms.
Yeah, feel me? Shout out to Av's Original. Shout out to the F Word. Shout out to We Eating. Hi, Mono. Shout out to you. Shout out to Hef's. Hef Sancho and All Out Foul for hosting.
Shout out to you, Gus.
Hey!
Shout out to you.
I am the good
Customer
homie
service.
Gus. Customer
Shout out
service.
to Phil in Boston.
Shout out to Phil and Boston. Gustification. Gustin Timberlake.
Gastos.
Auntie Gus.
That was a good one.
And this is the Free 99 podcast. IG, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. This is episode 24.
Yeah.
Peace.